Hi everybody. Today we're going to do a video on how to change a fraction into a decimal using long division. Now, in order to do that, you divide the top number by the bottom. Okay, that's not mathematical terms. The top number, remember, is called the numerator. The bottom number is called the denominator. And I like to remember that as the denominator is in the dungeon, the denominator dungeon. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking the numerator divided by the denominator, and it's going to give you a decimal if the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So let me show you the steps on how to do that. It's pretty simple. Long division can get a little messy, but hopefully these videos will help. So I'm going to go ahead and convert 1/5 into a decimal using long division. So the top number will always go inside the division problem. So if I have the number 1 in here and the number 5 out there, well, I cannot take 5 and put it into 1 any sort of way. Doesn't fit. So I have to put a decimal here, and I got to bring that decimal point right up here above it. And over here, I'm going to say, well, 5 fits into 1 0 times. Now, what I like to do, personally, is come out here and list my 5s all the way to 9, because you can only put 1 digit up here at a time. So I know that 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. That way, when I'm going to see how many times this number can fit into this number, I can just go over here to my list and count. It's a little bit more work at the beginning, but it does make your life a lot easier when you're actually doing the problem. So this one's a pretty easy one because it's just 5s, but sometimes you're gonna have 6s, 9s, 7s, so it can be a lot easier if you just list out your multiplication over here. 5 fits into 10 2 times. Well, 5 times 2 is 10. I subtract that out, and I'm done with a remainder of 0. Once you hit that remainder of 0, you're finished. That answer is 0.2. So 1/5, the decimal equivalent is 0.2. That was a pretty easy one. I wanted to start you off easy. Now I'm going to do a tougher one. We are going to do the number 3/8. 3/8 as a decimal. Remember, top number inside. So that 3 is going to go here. The 8's going to go out there. I can't fit 8 into 3, so I'm going to put a 0 up here, and I'm going to bring up my decimal point. Now, after a decimal, I can put as many zeros as I want forever, and it will just keep going, and it does not change the value of that number as long as that decimal point is there. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to list my 8s. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 8 is 64. And 8 times 9 is 72. Now I can count my numbers, how many times 8 fits in. So I want to know how many times 8 fits into 30. So which of these numbers gets us closest to 30 without going over? Well, that would be 24. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to throw a 3 up here. 8 times 3, we know from our list, is 24. I subtract 30 minus 24 is 6. I don't have a remainder of 0, so what I've got to do is I've got to put a 0 out here and bring it straight down. And now I want to know how many times does 8 fit into 60? Well, which number of these is going to get me closest to 60 without going over? Well, that's going to be 56. So I'm going to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 is going to fit into 67 times. 8 times 7 is 56. I'm going to subtract. 60 take away 56 is going to be 4. Still not a 0. So I bring 1 down. Okay, 8 into 40, go back to my list. Which one gets me closest to 40? Oh, 40 is on my list. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8 times 5 is 40. I'm going to subtract that, and I finally have my remainder of 0. So that means that 3/8 as a decimal is 0.375. Last one, toughest one, is going to be 7/9. 7/9. So I'm going to come over here. My 7, remember, is going to go inside because top number always goes in. My 9 is going to come out here. 9 can't fit into 7, so I put my 0, make my decimal point, throw it up there, and then I come over here and I list my 9s. 9 times 1, 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 9 is 81. Now I got them all listed. Again, takes a little bit of time, but once it's there, you can just go back and easily count. So I'm going to make this into a 70, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to say which one gets me closest to 70. 63. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will tell you, memorizing your multiplication makes division 100 times easier. So if you can, and you're still not quite done with your multiplication memorization, that's totally okay. But go ahead and get yourself some flashcards or make yourself some flashcards. Practice your multiplication through multiplication games online. Anything that will get you more comfortable with knowing these right off the top of your head will make your life a lot easier when you have to do things like long division. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to throw a 7 up here. 9 times 7 is 63. And I'm going to get 7 because 70 minus 63 is 7. So I'm going to bring my 0 down again. And I've got 70 again. Well, we already know that 70 is going to be 7. 9 times 7 is 63. That's going to leave me a remainder of 7, which is then going to be another 70. I hope you're seeing a pattern here. There is not going to be any way to get a remainder of 0 on this. This is what we call a repeating decimal. 9 is going to go into 70 7 times every single time we do this. So the shortened way to write this answer is going to be 0.7 with a bar. That's a repeating bar right there. That repeating bar tells me that that 7 is going to keep going forever and ever and ever. And if you kept going with your long division here, you would just keep getting 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7, and you're never going to stop. In a calculator, they're going to round that last number to an 8. That's only because they run out of space. It is not actually an 8. It is still a 7. The 8 is rounding. So the answer 7/9 fraction as a decimal is 0.7 repeating. Here's a tip. Anything over 9 is going to be that number repeating. That works for 9, it works for 99, it works for 999. So last one, I'm not going to show you long division on this one, but I do want to show you a quick shortcut here. If I have 12 over 99, okay, I can reduce that fraction if I want to. It's going to become, I believe, 4 over 33. Don't quote me on that. But I think if I divide both of these by 3, that should be 4 over 33. Okay? If you had to reduce, which we're not doing right now, so we don't need to worry about that. 12 over 99, shortcut. Anything over 9s is going to be that number. So this is going to be 0.12 repeating. If I have the number 163 over 999, that's going to be 0.163 repeating, which means the 1, the 6, and the 3 are going to repeat over and over again. This is going to be 0.12, 12, 12, 12. This is going to be 0.163, 163, 163, 163. Okay, that is a tip with 9s. 4 over 9 is 0.4 repeating. So, just a little shortcut, make your life a little bit easier. If you like this video and it helped you out, please like and subscribe my channel. Share it with your friends. Comment on here if you want any specific topics, any videos over those, and I'm glad to make them for you. And I hope you have an awesome day.